to say Elizabeth Warren.
And welcome to another episode of Foreign and Domestic. Good to see everyone out there. And as usual, we would like to start this off right and recommend say hello to our YouTube friend watcher. Go fuck yourself. All right. With that being said, Alan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I've had a great week, a wonderful weekend, and I'm just gonna start off as we normally do.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And to our YouTube viewer, if you don't like that, go fuck yourself. Yeah, I've had an absolutely phenomenal weekend. If I could get the screen to pull up here, I will tell you who YouTube says is viewing. The participants list is saying Big Al. Good to see Big Al. Fuzz Fork, of course, wanting structure. Gizzard Gary out there. Jet 001, apparently slightly lit. Lead Bullet Junkie. Pony 47. Vanessa Kitty out there. Good to see Vanessa out there. Red October jumping in the house. Yeah, it looks like the side chat is starting to come in. The Gun Snob was out there. Gunpowder Beauty, Chris 338, South Dakota Mountain Man was out there. I did say Lead Bullet Junkie, I believe. Mystic Guns was out there. There's the side chat popping in with Tennessee Patriot. Yep. Looks like it's off to a good start.
Awesome, good deal. We did have a couple questions. Let's see. Got this one first. Jamie, you might be better to answer this one.
I already did. I told him for extreme accuracy, and what I mean by that is distances over like 500 or 600 yards. You want to buy jacketed bullets and not depend on cast lead. And
then we got a supposedly dumb question from LBJ, but I don't think it's that dumb. I've had it happen. Personally, rubber mallet works fine, but that's just me. I don't know if anyone else has another suggestion.
I have rubber malleted and a little bit of heat. But not all that much, just a little bit of heat, get the end of the receiver warmed up and just smack the shit out of it, as long as you're not expecting to reuse that receiver.
And that's going to lead into what I would do. I would take it into somebody that's done quite a few of them, because I can't even get past the whole red Loctite stage. I just tear it up.
Yeah, if you're one expert with red Loctite, that would be Daniel.
Oh, yeah.
Well, expert in applying, right?
Applying and then taking a propane torch, loosening it up.
Lead Bullet Junkie might try some Kroil. You know, Kroil, Kroil. Some penetrating oil, spray some of that, leave it overnight, and then get you something from the backside and hit it with a rubber mallet. We're talking AR, right?
Yeah, he's talking AR, yep.
Hopefully when you put it together, you put some kind of anti-seize on it so it's not welded together from the heat of those little 223 pills burning up. But
yeah, Red October out there, wanting to talk Iran news and any thoughts. Let's start with the the hopefully not foreign for very long. You got thoughts on what's happening with all the Iran crap?
I think people just need to quit worrying so much. It's always the same thing. He took out 2 terrorists, and it's a bad thing, though. And whatever. It's stupid. The guy can never do anything right.
I think we're just seeing all the same now. Your left is partisan politics going on. Trump can't do nothing right, and then you got your Hollywood and your colonectomy camera necks trying to get into politics, making statements.
Jamie?
What?
Any thoughts on Iran?
Look, I don't keep up with politics like I should, and y'all know that, but it's been going on since before they wrote the Bible. It's going to be going on a long time after we're done. If you want all that mess to stop, the only thing you can do is just turn about 6 inches of that sand into glass, if you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and that's one of my things. Is Iran's got some land mass. They've got a decently sized chunk of land, but really, do you want to poke the fucking bear? We can turn you into glass with one airplane. I mean, we don't need to put boots on the ground. What are these idiots thinking? We retaliate to an attack that was made on us. And we've even got people here that are screaming, "Oh, Trump's going to get us into a war." There was many of retaliations made under many other presidents, but you don't hear what that being screamed at them. I mean, that part of it's absurd. And Iran, they walked all over Obama. They knew they could walk all over Obama. They knew they could walk all over Biden. It just sending Biden out to do that shit was idiocracy, in my opinion. And ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome the most handsome motherfucker on YouTube, Mr. Mario Mosen.
With no neck. Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, Mario. Good to see you, brother. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, sir. How's everything going? How y'all doing? Scotsman, thank you for the link. Much appreciated, brother.
Yeah,
Been trying to get in here for a while. What we
Battle
talking
Bean,
about?
we are talking Iran.
Oh, yeah.
Your thoughts on how that's going down right now?
Kind of pissed I'm not there. Tell you that much. Well, guys, from what I can tell you guys, and this is just my experience, especially in my first deployment, a lot of the insurgents we fought spoke Farsi. They didn't speak Arabic. So that'll tell you everything about this whole situation. Iran has been in Iraq for many, many years. They've been wanting, they're salivating because they want that land because of the natural resources it has, and the fact that it would make it a very difficult enemy to deal with if it would have all that land, especially the strategic land aspect of it, and the borders with Kuwait. So and it's funny because we've been wanting to get this guy for a long time. I remember my last deployment, we did a raid because we were thinking about either him or his nephew being in that particular area we were at patrolling, and unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way. But so in that aspect, yes, this has been an ongoing thing with him. The thing with this gentleman that passed away is that he's been very much like Al Sater. If you guys don't know who Al Sater is, that was the guy that we were originally targeting. Who was the Al Qaeda or ISIS guy in Iraq? He was pretty much calling the shots over there, and for many we did a lot of raids. We did a lot of stuff that involved these guys, and it just seems to me like little by little they're starting to trickle down, and I think a lot of it has to do with our intelligence community within that particular part of the region, and the fact that there's really a lot of people who are against Iran being in Iraq, and little by little they're just pretty much diming them out, and of course the U.S. is taking advantage of it.
Yeah, for a very long time they were trying to make out that Iran and Iraq, at least in the national media, were opposing enemies and everything else, but that's not quite the case when you have like mass amounts of fighters that are from Iran that are like trying to dominate parts of Iraq. They're
absolutely, and it's the thing that they need to understand, whether people understand this or not. Iran is a very wealthy country. It has a lot of natural resources. It provides a lot of things for the Iraqis, and they were trying to win the hearts and minds of them for many years. They've been trying to do that ever since Saddam has been out of power. And especially after we pretty much took most of our forces out of Iraq in about 2011 or so, and we only had a small contingency of them in certain areas of the country, and for the most part, the country was pretty much run by the Iraqis. The Iraqis, although we gave them a lot of our equipment, a lot of money, we gave them so much, but it just seems to me like they either have other tendencies or they're corrupt. They have a lot of people that are corrupt within their own system, and that's the reason why Iraq pretty much got away from them, and that's the reason how ISIS pretty much kind of took over that country, and all of us really knew that if we would take a lot of our service members out of Iraq, that stuff was going to happen. The uprising was there. The people, the leadership that they wanted there, they're already there, man. So they were just quietly waiting for us to get out. So when that happened, and President Obama decided to pull the plug, and that's when it happened. So, it is sad because now we're having to take another generation of we have to have another generation of Americans to take over for what we started, and it's sad, and it makes me angry because I lost a lot of good friends over there, man, and it just seems to me like their sacrifices were not really fulfilled with taking care of the total mission there, and that's the problem that I have with that whole situation. But taking care of it is sad, man. It's part of life, and I know that in reality, hopefully things will get better within Iraq, and I think the biggest one that really the country that really is concerned with all this is Kuwait, because Kuwait is a small little country, and it has a lot of oil. It has a lot of infrastructure. That's a little rich country, and that's the reason why Saddam wanted it for so many years. And I know that they are concerned with the actions of Iran and what they're trying to do. So it's just sad, man. You know.
Okay, so with Iran out of the way, one of the things that I definitely wanted to talk about tonight, Colt releasing the 2020 Python. Scotsman, have you seen pictures? Is it something you'd be looking at?
I haven't seen pictures, but unless it's true classic, no, I wouldn't be interested. Kind of like the Smith & Wesson classic line. I've said it in Jamie's chat before too. Unless it's like the actual Smith & Wesson old school proper way, then no, I wouldn't be interested.
And I got to stand up with the Scotsman on that. Those old triggers on those old revolvers are smooth. They are beyond butter. I mean, it's just when you can sit back at 70 yards and shoot 8-inch steels and going through single action and double action, just doing both on it. Yeah, try that on a new revolver.
Well, you know, I guess my only concern with Colt and bringing back a lot of their classic revolvers is that, you know, I really don't know if it's going to depreciate the value of the older versions that were around. I don't know if that would be because, I mean, I know that they just, you know, it's kind of like I noticed that they've been slowly but surely trying to bring back the revolvers that were classics, that were the ones that made them a lot of money. So I'm just thinking if it's going to depreciate the older versions. What's your take on that, there, Daniel?
Yeah, I don't believe that it would depreciate the value. In all actuality, I think it would swing the other way. I think it's going to make the older revolvers worth more.
The only way it would depreciate it is if they actually made them better than the old ones. You know?
The only way they're going to do that is if they actually do it the way they did back then and do it by hand, and they ain't going to do that.
Yeah, I like the attempt that they're making. You know, they had to get out of the commercial AR market because it, you know, and I understood why. It's a flooded market for them. Their ARs were marked up more than they needed to be. They weren't selling. So they've taken some of those resources and applied it towards stuff that's going to be going more towards the civilian market and trying to recapture those civilian dollars by coming out with more of them. And you know, it makes perfect sense to me why they would be doing it. If they're going to be comparable to the older weapons is another story altogether. Of course, I don't think it will be, because it was all quality by hand then. Yeah, Red just said it. Is quality by hand versus mass production. You know, so I don't think it's gonna depreciate the value at all of the older ones, even if they made them just as good as the older ones. Like that's gonna happen. But even if they did, I still think the older ones are gonna retain their value, if not gain value. But I still like the looks of it. Would I own one? Fuck yeah, I would.
Yeah. Hey guys, I wanted to ask you guys something because I've been kind of out of the I kind of been out of the whole situation. What the hell is going on in Virginia? You guys shed some light on that?
What
Well,
isn't happening in Virginia?
The Democrats won the House and both sides of the House and the governor. So they're shoving all kinds of anti-2A bills through the House and making laws and telling the citizens they're going to call the National Guard out on them. And they're going to start arresting sheriffs. Is there anything else? Did I miss
What
anything?
the hell? A governor is going to call the National Guard on his own people.
Yeah, he threatened to utilize Virginia National Guard against citizens and law enforcement that was not going to enforce the new firearms laws in that state. In the process, what has happened is, what is it, like 98% of the counties in Virginia now have declared themselves as 2A sanctuaries. And because of that, the governor created yet another law stating that if you're a public official of any sort, you serve in a safety manner, you're law enforcement, and you don't enforce these laws, then you are literally quitting your job by not enforcing these laws. On top of all this, he is now trying to get millions and millions of dollars stuffed into the correctional system so that when he does try to enforce all these laws and get everybody arrested that owns firearms and everything else, he's going to have prisons that can handle it. So
what the hell? Oh
yeah,
my God.
Yeah. I saw one
know.
thing is like $7 million or something he's got set aside.
That is ridiculous, man. Okay, first of all, let me explain something to you guys. If the governor decides to want to use National Guard troops, he needs to understand something. The National Guard is a department of the Army. Therefore, the overall commander-in-chief of the Army is Donald Trump. And if you try something stupid like that, I can guarantee you that he will use his powers to ensure that a tyrannical governor does not go against his own people. Wait a minute. First of all, isn't Virginia like doesn't Virginia have like a gun in their state flag?
Yeah, when this asshat got elected, and he essentially got elected via Richmond and the population. But when this asshat got elected, the very first things he started doing was putting forth gun legislation. And that's all they were focused on was all this gun regulation. And I'm thinking to myself, in Virginia, of all fucking places, you want to try this in Virginia. And it's become a massive steamroller. And so now, yeah, he's threatened to utilize National Guard because the law enforcement in Virginia has said, no, we're not going to do it. We will not comply with those. They violate our oaths, and we're not going to violate our oaths.
So what are the local sheriffs doing? If any of them just kind of like say, hey, we're going to go all against, because see, the reason why I'm bringing this up, guys, is because you guys know where I live. I live in a tyrannical freaking state where everything is all, you know, guns are the bad thing in the world here. And when we had freaking Gavin Newsom pass some tyrannical freaking laws, oh no, this was before him. It was Jerry Brown. A lot of the county sheriffs just straight out said, we're not going to comply. So I don't know if that's kind of gotten to that point within Virginia.
It has. The majority of the county sheriffs in Virginia have said, we're not going to comply, which brought forth HB, God, I can't remember what the number is. But it's a House bill that was drafted up specifically directed at law enforcement, county, excuse me, at law enforcement predominantly, saying that if you're not going to enforce these laws, these are the laws of the land, and if you're not going to enforce them, then you are quitting by not enforcing these laws.
Wow, man, this is gonna start a whole new shitstorm, not only in Virginia but in every other damn state in the union. I really hope that this thing gets rectified real quick, man, because I can just see that shit even getting crazier here in my own state and all the other, blue states that just are wanting to do all this stuff.
Now, Fuzz and the National Fuzz mentioned out there that there was this thing that came out about how the governor was trying to discover that he had some type of ex-SS crew working with him and was trying to figure out how to shut off utilities, shut off cell phone towers, shut down gas supply means to certain areas. He was looking into how to get rid of all these things so that when there is an uprising, he's just going to shut down operations in whole counties.
But see, that's stupid because you really stop and think about it. Most gun owners are preppers. So yeah, go ahead, turn the damn fucking light off. I got generators, I got fuel, I got all this other shit. I mean, that to me is stupid. And the thing about it is you're playing fire with fire. And the thing about it is that, how many if law enforcement is already against this governor, what makes you think that whenever he gives an order, it's going to be followed? I just think it's pretty dumb on his part to think that way. I can't believe it's gotten this bad already. Can you imagine if he would have had Hillary Clinton? I thought it was bad with I thought we were more stable with Trump in office, but man, this is getting stupid.
Yeah, it's absolutely an insane situation out there. And there was all this speculation that the governor was looking into striking all these power systems and everything else. It wasn't really proven. There was a report out there, but it was like getting the same report everywhere on all these different medias and outlets, and it was like word for word the same report. So that much of it, I don't know if that's believable or not, or if it was just some way for somebody to try to sell you a generator and 300 days of dried food storage or
Man, that's crazy. I can't believe it's gotten that bad. I've been kind of out of everything. Just been busy with the family and all that stuff. I kind of
it's so bad
with stuff, but
Antifa
no
and
idea
Black
what was
Lives
bad.
Matter are siding with us.
I'm sorry, Danny, what were you said?
It's so bad that Antifa and Black Lives Matter are siding with the 2A people.
Wow. That is nuts, man. That is crazy right there.
Yeah, it's completely tyrannical. Everything the guy's been pushing is just completely and utterly tyrannical. It's absurd.
So I think that all these laws took effect January 1st, correct? Or was this already happening before?
They've been working on it. I don't think it's taken effect yet.
No,
They're still in the House.
They're not sworn into office until January 8th, is what somebody wrote earlier. So as soon as they get in, they'll start pushing these bills and laws. They're saying it's still in committee. I don't know how they can introduce them if they're not in office yet.
That's pretty crazy. And the fact that, See, I would never in my wildest dream think that Virginia would go this crazy, this far left. You know, I thought Virginia was pretty much safe because it's one of the founding states.
It's home of your NRA, people.
That's crazy.
Sit there.
That is nuts, man. I can't believe that. That was crazy. Oh my God. So, anyways, I wanted to talk a little bit about retaliation from Iran. Now, the way I see Iran is very smart, guys. Iran is very, very smart. They have a lot of technology. Most of it they stole from us. The Chinese gave it to them. But if anything, I am very positive that they will retaliate. I mean, they already retaliated today. They killed like 3 service members in Africa. But I think that's not even. I don't think that's even part of the retaliation. What I'm really concerned with the most is a dirty bomb. Because there's been talk about them having some sort of, you know, small grade of uranium and whatever else that they need for that stuff. And you know, what really scares me about a dirty bomb is that you can put it in a backpack and you can just, you know, blow it up in the middle of fucking metropolis and just completely you know, do some serious damage to that whole infrastructure. And those are the things that I worry about. I think people are not looking at the bigger picture when it comes to retaliation. And I think Iran is going to be very smart on how they're going to do it. They're going to seriously think about it. They're going to plan it really good. And I think really the best thing that we could do is just we need to be more conscious about our surroundings, more aware of everything that's going around us. And of course, if you see something that's suspicious, you know, obviously, you know, say something, you know, especially to law enforcement. I know a lot of you guys have, you know, concealed weapons permits and all that, you know, but, you know, I think we have to be kind of careful with that aspect of it. You know, I mean, sometimes it can backfire on you. So just, you know, use your best judgment on that stuff, guys. But if anything, if anybody that could probably pull or has the fortitude to do something like that would be Iran, because in reality they have nothing to lose, and that's a scary type of country to having to deal with. Because not only that, but they're embargoed with us and the UN, so it's hard for them to get any kind of goods into their country. You know, they depend solely on China and Russia and some of the other communist countries. So it's going to get to a point where I really feel that if they're going to retaliate, it's going to be something big. We all need to be careful.
Well, and you threw China out there a few times, and I'm not sure if anybody else heard the statement that came out of China about the U.S. and 2A. Basically stating that the United States has entirely too much weapons and their laws can't control them, and something needs to be done about that. So I'm not going to go to China and tell them how the fuck to run their country. So stay the fuck out of mine.
Well, China has always been that way, man. The thing about, remember, China, if they do anything, it's going to be low key. They never really want to go out there and show the world what they're capable of doing. I mean, they're a very capable force. They're a very capable country. You know, they love stealing our shit all the damn time. If you look at a lot of their planes, it looks so much like ours. If you look at a lot of their weapons, it looks so much like ours. So in reality, China is it's a scary country, and what really makes it scary is their numbers. I mean, their numbers on their military is like 3 to 1. Really, it's ridiculous how many fucking people they have.
More.
And if they have any head of steam and abolish the 2A in the United States, that makes their numbers so much more impressive. And if you include the citizen army that we have in our country, their numbers aren't all that impressive. They're still scary. There's no
scary. I mean,
about it.
Regardless, I mean, they're a formidable force, and it's something we all need to just kind of keep an eye on. I think the biggest, I think one of the aspects of it's going to create alliances. It's going to create alliances within Russia and China and other countries that it's in their best interest to go against the United States, because I mean, like, China's really sour. They're sore that their economy is not doing so well. Especially they're playing this whole tariff battle game with the United States right now. So in reality, to them, it's like, hey, maybe going to war is a good thing for us, So just something for you guys to think about. I always feel that, China has always got their hands in the cookie jar. Same thing with Russia. Whether they're not actually doing it, but they're influencing it, or they're actually providing something.
Yeah. Well, the flip side of that too is just think of the deficit we have with them. So that they got their own form of control right there.
I think where China would fall short in a major conflict is the ability to deploy. They've got all these millions of soldiers, true, but how are they going to get them to where they need them to be in the world?
Well, I mean, there's definitely a way. I mean, seriously, nobody ever thought that the Japanese would attack Pearl Harbor, and they did it. To be honest with you, they're pretty crafty people. I think we cannot underestimate them.
Definitely, you can't underestimate them. You can't ever decide where. You can't trust Russia to follow where you would expect them to either. So it's getting to the point where it's going to be us and Western Europe against the world, pretty much. And
Neo Morcito.
And Israel. We got to have Israel on our side too.
Well, that's a big factor in the whole clusterfuck that is the Middle East. Is Israel, and that's what we've seen a lot of. That's what Iran will go after. Iran may not come into domestic United States, but they're going to go after all our allies and all that. The Fuzz Fork might be right. If China shuts down importing big screen TVs, us here in the U.S. might be fucked.
Well, Walmart might go under.
No, actually, we make a lot of our own TVs, bud. But I can see where you're going with that. Yeah. That would suck, I'm not getting Nikes is definitely a tragedy.
Yeah. Seriously though, Michael Signs, it ain't about whether Israel is going to have our back. The fact of the matter is that no matter what else happens, no matter what, we have got to have Israel's back. Period. Point blank. That's it. Not a matter for discussion. It's biblical fact. Period.
Yeah, I just think China needs to stay the hell out of our business. We're not broadcasting all the atrocities that happen on a daily fucking basis by their government on their people, their subjects, I should say, because sorry, stay the fuck out of our business.
Don't say sorry. Never apologize. You want to run through the side chat? We've got lots of people jumping in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Lead 8541, Fuzz Fort, Kyle Lusk out there, Vanessa Kitty, Big Al, Red October still raging. Alaska One, Andy, Jesse B Outdoors. This is without even pulling up the participants list. Alaskan Ballistics out there, Harshman Hills, J Dog out there. We've got Michael Ray, Ninja Scout, JB, Razor JB, Pulling Wrench Duty, SD Mountain Man, Scott P79, the Texas Outlaw, Michael Sines. Yeah, it's looking good over there. It looks like everybody's having a good time. Hopefully, being civil. I'm not watching you too much.
No, I'm not watching it too much. I'm trying to watch it here and there, but it's moving pretty quick. But that's why we have ranches, for them to watch it and make sure it stays the way it should.
Yeah, the Funky Monkey, the Armed Ape, Floyd Hicks, Karen Blue out there. Yeah, Mystic Guns still out there, Kingpin still out there. Who? Zeke Shoots. Who? Zeke Shoots. Oh. Probably mispronouncing that anyway. Probably mispronouncing that. Now Solobsky AK? Is that how that's pronounced? Do you have to say that with like a Czechoslovakian accent, or because I can't do that?
Do we need to invite the Russian?
Or yeah, or be like Bald and Curious. You tell that fucking guy he's Russian, he gets pissed.
That's what I was saying. We need to invite the Russian.
I tell you, like the veins come out of his head and shit. I'm like, damn, homie.
Romanian. I wouldn't even know what a Romanian accent sounds like. I mean, I guess that's how much of an American domestic I am.
Oh, he's Romanian, right?
Yes.
Oh, so I think last time I called him Vlad the Impaler, he kind of didn't like that either. It's like, hey, man, take your poison, dickhead. What do you want? I go, hey, man, so do you motherfuckers impale people in yards and shit, and you just have them display like, and shit, you know? I'm just wondering, because yeah, motherfuckers are crazy. Like, me to Romania, I'm like, fuck no, I ain't going that place. Hell no. I saw this documentary on Romania, man, and they said that even if you get close to Vlad's fucking castle, there's been a lot of people that have fucking fallen down the cliff and fucking broken their necks. I'm like, fuck that. That's not me. No bueno. I'm like, no.
No, not quite interested in that. Thank you.
No, hell no, man. But yeah, man. So how's it going over there in Iowa? Is it blistering cold over there? You guys got snow?
You know, it was like today was typical Iowa weather. It was, the sun was out. It would have been absolutely fucking gorgeous, but the wind was blowing like a raging ape and just colder than fucking shit. Just it was horrible. But it's been nice. Really. We haven't gotten all that hit that much with winter yet. So yeah, Fuzz, forgot to mention that the UN was hiring a fellow to confiscate guns and speak English. That's why you're seeing memes on Facebook of the new targets are blue helmets. Everybody's just going to acquire blue helmets and start using those as shooting targets. Because the UN can stay the fuck off U.S. soil. Just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. UN on our soil is not going to be tolerated.
No, tell me if I'm wrong.
I can tell you guys, because I'm trained with NATO forces, especially those that are part of the UN, and they don't impress me for shit. I could tell you for a fact that most of you cannot shoot any of those United Nation soldiers. Guaranteed. Without a doubt. They're gonna make nice shiny targets with their little blue hats.
Mario, have you taken your UN medal off your ribbon band and burn it yet?
No, I had the NATO pool. I didn't get
You
the
didn't get the
I wouldn't,
UN.
even, I wouldn't even wear that shit on my uniform.
That shit's gone off of my stuff and burnt.
Oh yeah.
Now, Practical Nurse down in Texas, he's been using blue helmets and doing field tests with ARs and AKs on those helmets down there.
Man,
And he's retired Army.
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man, but it's good stuff. So, man, hey, man, you need to get a Mexican to fix your light there, Daniel. I don't like this anonymous guy that's fucking looking at me, man. You look like one of those guys in one of those suspense shows and shit, and you're trying not to show your face and say, "Yes, I was there."
It's called the X-Files, the smoke.
Yeah, the X-Files. There you go. Yeah, I don't like that, man.
More like I almost got away with it.
Oh yeah, there you go. That one, yeah, that's a good one. Always got away with it. And now you're in the Discovery Channel. Congratulations.
No handcuffs.
Don't be making hand puppet signs, man. Then people gonna start thinking you're doing gang signs and shit.
No handcuffs.
They're coming at you.
See that? No handcuffs.
Oh, that's up, man.
So another thing that just recently hit the market, and I haven't watched any videos on it, don't know anything at all about it, other than some people are just bad mouthing it strictly by its manufactured, and that is Ruger coming out with the 5.7.
Oh God. Oh, E-Bomi would love that. Oh, God.
Yeah, I think he will. It'll probably be one that he can afford too.
Yeah, you get two of those. Honestly, guys, I don't know what's the fascination with the 5.7, man. Really, it's just a standard round, man. At least in my point of view, I don't like the 5.7. It's like the 357 SIG. What the hell's the point of that?
It's a pretty smooth shooting round, but honestly, 22 TCM is more fun.
Which one?
22 TCM.
Man, what you gotta go? What you gotta go there, Scotsman? Oh man! Hey, so but by the way, how are you liking your reloading press? I haven't caught up with you in a while. I know you got one of those nice, fancy. What do they call those things? Those
what, the 650?
Huh?
The Dylan 650?
Oh, there you go. I mean, that Dylan 650. Machine gun. Excuse me, Dylan.
Yeah, man. Oh, I still love the thing, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What are you mostly reloading with that thing?
Nothing's just out straight for 9.
Okay.
Anything else I'm loading, I do on the alignment 8. The target press.
Scotsman, you missed. That was so easy. He threw you a softball. You should have just said bullets.
Listen here, Mr. X-Files.
Are you getting ready to upgrade? Is that what you're inquiring about there, Mario?
No. I like my lead, man. There's nothing wrong with it. It works. It's operational. And plus, I got all that stuff from Scotsman, so no, I'm good. Mine is nice, though. Everybody's always commenting. I like your press. I know. I got people that like me. I don't know why, but they do.
Scott P79 is saying that Grab a Gun is listing the Ruger 5.7 at $649.
Yeah,
so
you could buy like 3 or 4
you
of them.
5.7
one FN.
One of the things that I do like about the 5.7 is it's got good velocity and low recoil. And they're putting 20+1 in that Ruger. So, I forget exactly what the numbers are. I want to say it's like 3,000 feet a second, but I don't know off the top of my head. But it's got a really fast moving round, and supposedly out of pistols like that, like the FN and out of the 5.7, it's extremely flat shooting, and they're very accurate. So I don't, I've heard some guys just knocking it strictly because it's a Ruger, saying, yeah, you'll get a mag out of it and then it'll blow up. Well, it's not a Glock, but anyway, they're knocking it strictly because it's a Ruger, and I don't really understand that. Everybody knows I've got a few Rugers here and there. I like my Rugers. Have I had problems with Rugers? Yeah, I have. Has Ruger in the past made bad comments about magazine capacities? Yeah, absolutely. Is this one coming out with a 20+1? Yeah, it is. So it's kind of like, if Ruger hits the ground running with it and it's 650, that's kind of hard to pass up. Are other manufacturers going to jump on the 5.7 bandwagon?
So who's this? Well, daggone, I'm gonna have to back it up. Okay, Elster's rifle. He's picking on me, so I got who is this guy?
I don't know, but he can pick on you. That's fine.
I'm liking him.
So one topic I do have that some of you may not know, the ATF is changing to 4473 once again. And I've had the privilege of seeing a copy of what it looks like, and wow, is it dumb. They are basically revamping the entire thing, and they're also adding a new gender. So now if you can't decide what you are a let's see, what is it again? It is non-binary. Thoughts?
It's what?
Non-binary.
Non-binary?
Yep.
So they can't use it in a computer.
This is I don't understand. I mean, this is supposed to be used for the background checks, everything else. How do they determine that you're binary, you're non-binary or binary? Birth certificates still say male or female. So when they go to do the background check and you're listed as, oh, I'm neither, then I guess you're not going to pass your background check, right?
Yeah, it's crazy to me. And then they're making some other stupid changes here and there. 3 guns on the form instead of 4. Putting the guns on the front page instead of on the back in the middle page, so it's going on the front page. So your questions are now half on the front page and half on the second page. They are rechanging 12. What used to be, well, it'll be another number now, but what used to be 12D2, which is where they changed it a few years back to where you had to answer yes, no, or NA. They're now taking that away again and making it what it was before. So just to screw people up even more.
Well, I did like Gunpowder's comment about that. I kind of agree, even though a lot of stuff flows out of my mouth very influently occasionally. But yeah, why they feel like they need to change that, make it even more stupidly complicated. I don't get it.
It's just anytime someone else gets in charge, they got to change things up and redo it and make it theirs, and they always fuck it up at somewhere along the line.
By the way, I saw the funniest shit yesterday on YouTube. The Sky pistol now comes with red dots. Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
humble marksman posted the
I look
video.
like you're proficient as fuck now with that thing, man. Trying to get that red dot in there, man.
Oh, and as a side note, the Ruger 5.7 comes optic ready.
Oh,
But
that's
with the Sky
good.
Pistol, I think what they did is they didn't actually put a dot in the window. They just have a window because that's about where you might hit if it goes off.
Sounds about right.
I just got something for Gunpowder Beauty. We hunt unicorns around here. We cook them with sweet onion and mushroom.
You talking about squirrels?
No, unicorns.
Oh,
Gunpowder Beauty now identifies as a unicorn.
okay. I'll leave that shit alone.
I mean, how much? Yeah. So, are they actually coming with a red dot, or are they just optic ready? Because
No. They come with a red dot, and it's under $500. I was like, go ahead with your best self. I was like, it's like $439 with a red dot. I was like, what the hell? Most red dots cost you like $400 sometimes, you know, especially you get the real pricey ones. So I was like, I don't know.
yeah, you get a good optic. It's going to cost you that plus some. no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So putting a red dot on that is kind of like putting a bayonet on a freaking wheel gun. It's absurd.
I think they're Crimson Trace too. The red dot.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure.
Wow. Crimson Trace is gonna make some money.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? They keep this up. Freaking High Point's gonna come up with one too.
They're probably already in development.
I'm sure they are. Who the hell wants an optic ready High Point?
Daniel would probably buy one.
Yeah, Danny will buy it. He'll buy it.
Full Ed Taco did a build on a High Point where he was holding it like this and put sights down the side of the slide where he could hold it gangster style and shoot it.
Oh, that's the only way it works. That way, when the slide comes back, the round falls out rather than being ejected.
Yeah.
The casing just falls out of the slide. I mean, there's a reason why they have to shoot them like that. It's because they don't have any ejectors in them, so the brass just has to fall out.
Trigicon don't make anything halfway, Michael Ray.
A person from Iowa trying to find the intricacies of drive-by shooting. Now that's hilarious.
Are you gonna talk to the where is he? Daniel. He's over here somewhere. He's the master of the gangster style shooting.
Yeah, but here's my thing though. Technically, if you put it to the side, you're just pretty much giving away your evidence because you know that police officer is gonna, do what they have to do, and I'm sure they're gonna find out, I think Danny, weren't you a cop? Daniel?
What?
Weren't you a cop?
Where's my coffee?
No, were you a cop?
Sure.
No,
He's garbled.
Daniel was not in law enforcement.
Oh, he wasn't.
No.
No, I mean, that was the ideology back in the day. That's why they started doing that theoretically, was to try to throw off the investigations on where they were at when they took the shot, because the shell casings are here, the shell casings are there. If I shoot this Rock Island 10 millimeter, they're gonna think that I was like 15 yards that way because of how far it throws the freaking brass out of it.
All righty.
Yeah, you need a
And
brass catcher.
Springs on those things, huh?
So what? Mario thought I was in law enforcement.
Huh?
You thought I was in law enforcement?
Yeah, you have that look, sir.
Oh well, I was a mall cop for 20 years. Does that count?
Oh man, you were Paul Blart. Go ahead with your bad self. Hey man, did you ride one of them little things going?
Oh, how do you think I injured my back?
Oh man,
It was hitting speed bumps on one of those things.
those Black Fridays, man. I'm telling you, man, they're killer. They're
Well,
killer.
somebody had one of those floor buffers, and the cord was out running across. And they didn't have their little orange sign up, and I was running over there to put the little sign up for them before someone got in trouble or hurt. And I hit the cord, and I wiped out.
How'd it go?
The one thing about Daniel's Segway is that it had real flames painted on the side of it, though. I mean,
man, that's gangsta. That's what I'm talking about.
it's pretty fly in the way of Segways.
Let me ask you this. Hey, do you guys have a union?
Hey, oh yeah, everyone's got a union. We got to support the Democratic Party with all of our union dues.
Rent a cop union. That's what I'm talking about. What you guys call it, man? Foshizi Manizi?
No, it was called the Check Yourself Union.
Oh, check yourself, fool. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, homie.
I thought you actually knew. I already thought you knew that on prior service.
Ah, didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, man.
I could tell you what I did, but that Scotsman would have to kill you.
Okay. Scotsman, what the hell are you drinking? Water? What the hell's wrong with you, man?
I gotta go to work tonight, man.
Oh, that's why. Oh man.
Yeah, the times they've been a changing, brother.
Oh, that's right. Today, Sunday is your Monday for you, huh?
Yep.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
All good.
Buzz, I'm assuming caseless ammo would be a muzzle loader, right? You get to hand load every round you shoot.
I think Fudge just throws them at people now. I don't think he even pulls the trigger anymore. He just picks them up and throws them.
Yeah, he's damn accurate that way too. Oh, Julie Morris, welcome. Yeah, right before SHOT Show here, folks. I mean, there's been a couple that I've mentioned. Has anybody else heard of anything else that's being released right before SHOT Show?
I heard of one. It's kind of it's Heritage Arms. Their little Rough Rider 22s. They've made like a bunt line out of that. Like got a stock and a longer barrel on it and stuff.
Oh, so almost like a mare's leg, or?
No, it's a revolver. It's a revolving rifle, like a bunt line.
Oh,
They're kind of like the old Ruger that they used to make back in the day.
It's,
You know what I'm talking about?
it's got a wooden stock, and then it comes up to the frame, and then it looks like a revolver. It's got a revolving cylinder.
Yeah, the Ruger makes one like that. I forgot the name of it though. Well,
I didn't know.
I haven't made that in years though.
It's what I refer to as a bunt line.
Man, you have all these funky words I never heard of, man.
Well, look how old he is compared to you.
That is true. You got a good point there.
You gotta remember, man. He's been around a long time.
I know that is true, man. Much
He went
much
to
love,
school
Asher.
when they still had a thesaurus.
Oh, damn, he went there.
And it wasn't a live animal that you chased after with a spear.
Man,
Now, I could have been bound in leather.
man, really? That would have been more gooder. Yes.
Yeah,
like a revolver carbine, essentially. I
right.
mean,
There's a few different ones out there. They're good though.
Such an exciting fellow Scotsman you are. So exciting.
Yeah, and, MCK said Rossi makes one out of the circuit judge, and Gun Loving Grandpa said the same thing. So, the one that Heritage makes, I'm pretty sure it's going to be 22 long rifle, maybe have the cylinder for 22 mag. But if you get something like that in 45 Colt, yeah, that would be cool. MCK, I know Taurus makes the circuit judge,
Oh, that's right. It's Taurus, not Ruger. There you go.
but Rossi is a division of Taurus, so it wouldn't be anything for Rossi to make a bunt line out of a circuit judge. So you think about one of those in either 45 long Colt or 410. That would be pretty cool. Except for the fact that a cylinder doesn't seal all the gas in. So you got a 410 shotgun going off about that far from your eyes. So that's a little bit scary.
yeah, that sounds a little sketchy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that sounds interesting though, and I like a lot of the Heritage stuff. They make really good revolvers. Those little Heritage classics they make, or whatever they call, really nice
Rough
revolvers.
Riders.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Yeah, those are nice. I really like them, and they're so cheap too. They're like they're way cheaper than many of the other 22 pistols or revolvers. I really like those. I really wanted to get one of those Browning type of 22 pistols, but man, I just think they're kind of overrated. I think the Ruger makes a little better pistol than the Browning does.
First place, who hit me with that?
Mario, when are you going to break down and just buy a CZ?
Not yet, man. I really would like to get a Shadow 2. If I'm gonna get something, man, I want to get the top of the line. I want to get like what you got, the Shadow 2. That thing is beautiful, man.
I shoot my PO1 more than I shoot it.
Really?
Yeah.
You shoot the PO1 more?
If you like polymer, get a PO7.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like a hammers, get the PO1.
Yeah. I've been looking into it, man, but I've been so damn busy lately, guys. I just haven't had time. But yeah, I really, that's definitely my next purchase for sure.
Are you taking those transition classes now?
Yeah, those things take a lot of my time, and not only that, but then I'm doing my master's degree, and that takes a lot of my time too. So that's why you guys haven't seen me much online.
Yeah.
In the long run, I think it's just going to benefit me because, the more you learn about the whole transition, like I don't understand how civilians do it, man. It just, to me, it's like this is all foreign to me, man. So it's like, I gotta learn it. But I've been getting a lot of good instruction. We had this one guy that came from the Department of Labor, and they came in. He taught us basically, how to do resumes, how to do interviews, and all kinds of stuff. So it was super beneficial to I soaked that dude like a sponge, man. I had like so many questions. It was really good. And I'm still got a couple other events that I have to do, and then after that, I'll start on my VA appointments, and then got to turn in all my gear and do my final physical. And before you know, hopefully by that time, I'll be getting ready to get the hell out. Or I'll start what they call terminal leave, which is you have all these vacation days you've had over the years. So I have over like 60 days. So I got like 3 months. I ain't doing a damn thing. So you guys will probably see more videos then, because I'd be like, I need to make a video. But yeah, so it's cool, man. I like it. I think it's a good process. I'm glad that they're finally doing more for service members as they're getting ready to retire from the military. It seems to me like before it wasn't the case. So just happy with all the help that I've been getting.
That's good, man. Yeah, I mean, I saw you posted a couple different videos on the beach. It was good too. Taking the time.
Oh yeah, that was nice, man. I really liked that beach. Yeah.
So Mario, what are you getting a master's in? What field?
Criminal Justice Administration with an emphasis of Homeland Security.
And that's a lot more complicated, man. I thought you were just going to get a master's in baiters. But
crazy ass. No, man. If you're going to do it right, man. Yeah, but it's complicated. It's challenging, but I like it, And people just think that because you get a criminal justice degree, it's basically all based on criminology. But no, I mean, there's a lot of things that the degree covers, covers, of course, the administration aspect, public policies, standard operating procedures, all this other stuff that, people don't stop and think about it, that encompasses a criminal justice degree. And, financial, I think one of them is like a financial planning course I had to take. So it's interesting. I like it. I think it's worth my time and effort. And the fact that the Army's paying for it doesn't, I ain't hating. So, and then, I don't know, maybe after I do that, I'll probably I really would like to learn a little bit more about IT. It just seems to me like that particular field is just growing so big. So I think I would like to learn something about that.
Yeah, I think you lost a couple of letters there, man. A T and an S.
Yeah.
No, IT is a never-ending field. It's gonna constantly be growing as long as there's human life and electricity.
Yeah.
It's never gonna end. Although, if you want actual job security, I think one of the best jobs on the face of the planet is coroner. Because as long as you're the second man alive, you've still got a client.
You crazy. Hell no. Believe me, one of my best friends does that shit in the military, dude. Does the funeral honor thing. Fuck no, I can't do that shit. No. I mean, I have a lot of respect for the people that do it. That's just not my thing, man. Yeah, believe me, I think really there's two fields that it seems to me like they will always have jobs for. One is the medical field, the other two is the IT or computer field. It just seems to me like that's going to be never ending for the rest of the time, and it's always in demand. So, but of course, putting people in jail it's another one that's never going to go away either. So, there's always that.
So have you even thought about like a job with no stress?
I'm sorry, say that again, Denny.
Have you thought about getting a job that doesn't have any stress at all?
Yeah, I do. I mean, actually, I've also applied for a job, and it seems to me like there's a 90% chance I'll get it.
Walmart greeter?
No. Do you like coffee?
Do I like hockey? Of course I like hockey.
Coffee.
Oh, coffee. Yes.
Do you just like talking to people who are actually adults and know what they're doing?
I am not going to be a barista. No.
No. I mean, no. Parts delivery driver for Napa or Advance.
I can just see you as a barista. Hey.
Hi.
Starbucks.
He's going.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
He's going for his master's degree. I was thinking getting a job on a fishing boat. You could be a journeyman baiter until you got real good at it. Then you'd be what?
Okay. I see you guys think highly of me. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I'm still thinking Walmart greeter, brother.
You know what? That's not a bad job, man.
No. If you say, "Oh, I got pain in my knee," they'll give you a stool.
I gotta look professional and shit, you know. And yeah,
I thought they got rid of the Walmart greeters.
no, they're still there.
No, they're now just checking your receipts on the way out.
Loss prevention is what they did.
Yeah, so they don't greet you. Now they're trying to bust
No,
it.
they're just trying to make sure you got all your stuff and you're not trying to steal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told the lady at the Walmart the other day, I said, don't ask me for my freaking receipt. I said, you saw me pay for my stuff. You saw me pull the receipt out of the cash register. No, I'm tired of y'all suspecting everybody that comes in here is a freaking thief.
Yep, I hate that shit, especially when you're going through like the self pay.
And I get your point.
See you.
I get your point, but you know, it just seems to me like, you know, the reason why they created that is because of all the losses they've had. And I get your point. Some people are gonna be cooperative, some people are not. And that's just the way it is, you know. I mean,
well, that's a good
Do you really think an elderly lady that's on Social Security that's either brittle and bones or 400 pounds is going to be able to stop a thief?
no, but see, no, it's not stopping a thief. But I mean, the thing about it is that they're trying to. I guess what they're trying to do is they're trying to control the entry points. Is what it is. They know they're not going to stop an old lady or whatever, but it's just that showing that you have more control of your exit points.
Well,
Maybe that'll deter people.
Let me have this video.
I probably should be a little bit more cooperative.
I've been completely cooperative. The last time I was asked for my receipt leaving a Walmart, I said, "Oh, okay, yeah, here's my receipt," and then I kept walking. I need to see your bags. Yeah, right here. See them?
I looked right at her and I said, "Really, Mom? I know you're legally blind, so get your white cane and get out of my way. I got to go take care of some stuff."
Ow.
No, you didn't say that. You did not say that.
I did.
Well, by being cooperative, I guess it's we're doing our part to keep the prices down, because everybody that steals from Walmart makes the prices go up, or from anywhere. They're not paying for that. We are. So
Exactly.
really, people are stealing from us as consumers.
But see, here's another thing too. I mean, don't think of it as that person is just inconveniencing you. Hey, you know what? You're keeping that elderly person having a job. You know, and that's the way I see it. You know, when you get to that point, you're like, you know, I think even the elderly, they get to a point that they feel like, you know, they become a nuisance instead of help. So I mean, if that gives them some sort of, you know, job stability or, you know, some reason to live, why the hell not?
Yeah, reason to live is exactly it. And I was working in the retail sector, and I hired literally this 82-year-old woman, and her only qualifications was working in the kitchen. So I put her in the kitchen. Everybody's like, "She's just so slow and blah, blah, blah." And I said, yeah, she's 82. She's bound to be slow. Well, why'd you stick her here? I said, because the woman needs something to look forward to. She has 3 days a week, and she comes in for 4-hour shifts. She's here 12 hours in the entire damn week. But those 12 hours is some of the most exciting time for her entire week.
Yeah.
She's got no relatives. She lives at home with 2 cats, and she looks forward to every single time she comes to work. She's happy to be there. She does everything she can, and just accept it, because it ain't changing in my book.
You are a great American. Good job. And that's
Good
what you have to look at things, guys. You really do. Because
Yeah,
I know
that'll probably add years onto her life too.
exactly. And you know, sometimes just the simple act of socializing with other people, it really builds the morale of a lot of people. It really does, you know.
It hasn't worked for Daniel, but it works for most people.
Yeah, but that's a salty ass fucking sailor there, man. You can't.
Yeah, but
only do-
that salty ass sailor doesn't really go anywhere. He just sits at home all day. So, you know,
yeah,
that's why he's a salty ass sailor.
yeah. Fix your light, fucker. Jesus.
I mean, I load bullets, I shoot my guns, I go hunting. Life is hard.
Life is hard. Jeez.
Pimping ain't easy, bro.
Yeah.
That's a fact. But yeah, I'm looking forward to being retired myself.
Aren't you almost there?
No, man, I got 8 years.
Really?
Yeah, I got to work
Wow.
till I'm 65.
Oh my goodness.
I know, sucks, don't it?
We're
Yeah, well,
65 decades.
I love you, Alan.
this ignorant fucker. Swear to God. Well, anyways, guys, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. But it's been great chatting with you guys, catching up.
Good to see you,
Much
man.
love. Thanks, Scotsman, for the invite. Really appreciate it, brother. Sorry I
Always,
couldn't make last week's.
always a
And
pleasure to see you, Mario.
huh?
Always a pleasure to see you, buddy.
Yeah, man, you're more than welcome anytime.
Yeah, man. Well, much love to you guys, Alan and JH. Much love to you guys, everybody in the chat room. God bless you guys. You guys take care, man. Have a good night.
Bless you, bro.
Take care, bro. Now you can talk bad about him, Daniel.
RTT guns. Some of y'all look like you helped build the pyramids. Man, that's the pot calling kettle black.
Instant. What's he talking about? I'm glad 2019's over. That year sucked.
Yeah,
I just got tired of writing 19. Other than that, I could do without it. I'm just looking forward to Trump winning again. Because, I mean, what are they putting up other than that? Elizabeth Warren?
Bloomberg,
Oh my God, Bloomberg.
he's hitting Ohio hard right now. He's everywhere in Ohio. He started out having coffee up there in, near some place in northeast.
No.
Scotsman, can we talk about question that Alan, I'm sorry, Big Al, asked when we first got on here about bullet hardness?
Absolutely, man.
I wished I could remember exactly how he worded it, but one of the questions he asked was about bullet hardness. Another one was about accuracy. For accurate loads out over, we touched on it just a little bit, but for going to 1,000 yards or maybe even 600 yards, 500 yards, you need to buy jacketed bullets. Just bite the bullet, and I can't believe I said that. Yeah, just go ahead and spend the money, get some good match grade bullets, and work up your loads that way for extreme long range stuff. And for everything else, I hunt with a cast lead bolt load in my 35 Remington that was fairly successful. But you've got to match. You got to match your bullet hardness with your pressure. And a lot of people want to look at the velocity, and that's the velocity is a result of the pressure. So you really got to pay attention to the pressure and match your hardness to that. Big Al, if you're even still out there, if you have the Lee book, there's a page, I think it's page 112, 113 in the Lee second edition Modern Reloading that has a chart that will match bullet hardness with the pressure of a round. So if you look past the pressure to the velocity, you're missing a step there. Your velocity is a result of the pressure. One controls the other. Your pressure is going to control your. Michael, how do you regulate or monitor the pressure?
So I want you guys to see this. He is exactly right. Page 112 is the beginning of that chart. I had to pull the book out just to check. I wanted to check to make sure. Yeah, 112, 113, and 114.
JH, you carry around 2 books, don't you? That one and a Bible, right?
Yes, sir. Well, I don't carry the Lee book. I carry a Bible everywhere I go. But yeah.
So how do you regulate or monitor pressure?
With your powder charge.
You can see different pressure signs on the case and things like that. You know, that's where you'll see the when the case, case gets lines and stuff on it, like black lines, powder, you'll see different pressure signs.
Your when your primers are mashed flat, that's a sign of or bulged around the case head. You'll see those pressure signs. You need to start checking your load for what you're done wrong. And it's not always necessarily the powder charge being too high, but that's the first place you would look. It could be that your trim length is too long. If you have cases that are too long, the brass is actually getting up there and pinching into the rifling, and that's causing a bind with the bullet going into the rifling, and it's causing too much pressure on the case. Eventually, you'll have a case head separation, and nobody wants to be around when that happens. So yeah, keep a good check on your primers. Keep it when you're prepping your brass. Always keep a good look right here at your case head. This is just a 30-30 piece, but you can see a little. You can actually feel that right there, where this is the web. This is the thickest place in the brass, and it's by necessity too, because as your this end seals first, and then this expands and comes back to fill in. That's where you get the term head space. And this piece right here is the web. That's where your stretching actually happens, because it's this part, the case mouth, obturates and seals. The gas has to go down the barrel, pushing the bullet out the end of the barrel, out the muzzle. So this is where the stretch happens. If you've got too much head space, you can actually get a case head separation right in here. Then that pressure no longer goes this way. It comes back this way. And guess who is back here? You are. That's not a good thing. So always match your pressure with the hardness of your lead. You want your lead hard enough to hold the pressure, but you need it soft enough to obturate into the barrel so that it's sealing and then getting all that pressure going. If it's too hard, it can not obturate, and the hot gas will actually burn a place in through the lead and cause leading on your Yeah, bullet seating depth can cause excessive pressures too if you've got it pressed in there too far. You've got too much mouth tension, bullet tension, whatever you want to call it. So yeah.
So how do you test your hardness level?
For our lead,
Yes.
well, that's another whole video, another whole live stream. So there's several ways. I do it with artist pencils. I have a chart, and I take the cast bullet and file a flat piece on it, and then take a pencil and push it into the lead and try to scrape it. If it makes a mark, that don't count. If it scratches, you're getting close. But what you want to do is you want that the hardness of that lead needs to actually cut a little what's the word? A little spire, a little ribbon of the lead needs to cut it up and curl it up. And yeah, they are hardness testers, Michael, but the lead one is like $70. The artist pencils, you can buy those at Walmart for $10. Well, $6. You can probably get them on Amazon for you guys that don't want to go to Walmart anymore, which I certainly understand.
Yeah, look at your craft stores too. You'll find. I think I paid like $3 or $4 for mine on clearance. So you can find them pretty cheap though.
Yeah, and if you guys are interested in getting into casting and you need to know what the values are, you can go to the Cast Bullets forum, or you can just give me or Scotsman one an email, and we'll get you a copy of the pressure of the little table that matches the hardness of the pencils to the hardness of the lead. If I can do it, how hard can it be? I mean, seriously.
Well, I mean, just remember how long you've been running, how long you've been doing it. I mean, you probably helped invent the process. So, I mean, come on.
Come on, Michael. Get moving, buddy. Did you cast any more today, Michael? He said he was casting yesterday. Hopefully he got some more. If I can find that little sheet.
Yeah, I got to get casting. Weather's still good enough to get out there and cast, so I got to get that done at some point.
Yeah, I've got to cast up a bunch of bullets for Lead Bullet Junkie. He won our bullet package.
So you guys are on the same level as the Texas Outlaw, as far as you're not a real reloader until you go into Joanne Fabrics to buy your supplies.
Hey, you go where you go, man.
There's the chart. And this is what the pencils look like. Little artist pencils. Sketching pencils. And Gun Fun ZS has a really good video on how to do that, if any of you guys are interested. He's got the best video. He shows the right way to do it. New York City Reloader and Uncle Jim both did a video, but to me, Gun Fun ZS does it exactly as it ought to be done.
Yeah, I'm good for a little bit. I got a bunch of bullets from Willie and a bunch of bullets from MCK, and yeah, I'm good for a little bit, but I definitely need to get back out there and do it. I haven't done it in a while. There you go. There's one for you, Jamie.
No, I was a little bit after gunpowder. The Chinese did that like, yeah, back in the what, 1200s, 800s, somewhere around in there. But yeah, reloading is one thing, and buying your bullets, but casting is a whole different rabbit hole to get into.
Yep. Definitely recommend doing it though. The more you know about the process, the better.
Yeah, and of course, powder coating cast lead bullets just changes the whole process. And you see, I've never done the traditional stuff. I got into it after the powder coating had done come along. So the traditional lube is beyond the scope of my pay grade. I've done pan lubing once. Are we that exciting, Gunpowder Beauty?
Yeah, I think what she's saying is her kids are starting to get rowdy.
Yeah, she's about to throat punch someone.
Oh boy.
So, Alan, are you ready to start casting yet? Or are you not quite to that point?
I am definitely not at that point yet. Definitely not at that point yet. I'm still trying to dial in a 10 millimeter round. That the Rock Island likes. But I've actually been spending some time dealing with that over the last week, and went out yesterday and did some test rounds, and it likes some of it, it doesn't like other of it. It still fires everything, but it just doesn't seem to be dialed in. I haven't found one that's quite as accurate as factory rounds yet. So that's the process that I'm working now, is just trying to work up a good 10 millimeter setup.
Are you still getting good ejection and everything from, and feeding issues?
No feeding issues. The ejection is just ridiculous. That's been an issue in creating rounds. Because I don't want to just go buy brass, but I've had to. But it's been running it eats everything. It shoots it. It just,
Accuracy's just not there.
the accuracy just isn't there compared to like the HSTs. The accuracy just isn't where I want it yet.
So let me ask you this. Have you taken one of those bullets apart to see what's in it and try to figure out what powder they use and how much grains, etc.?
I have pulled one, and just to get weight. So I don't know what powder, how I'm going to be able to tell what kind of powder they're using. I'm still using CCI primers. I don't know if I want to mix up the primer setup. But I've tried right around the same weight that I've been dealing with, and I'm using tight group powder on it for the most part. But it's kind of like half in the beginning of the process, where I've pulled around, I got the weight, and I've started dumping in about giving a little bit of flux between back and forth on the tight group, and it's for some reason it's just not quite as accurate.
Well, that could be your problem with 10 millimeter using tight group. You've got a lot of you don't have real good case fill. If you can find a different powder that's going to fill that case up better, you'll have a lot more accuracy.
Yeah, I would try like Unique or something like that.
Power pistol.
Okay.
Now for 38, 9 millimeter, stuff like that, tight group is great. You about can't find a better powder for 9 millimeter than tight group, in my opinion. But when you go moving to bigger cases like 357 Magnum, 44 mag, you need a little bit slower powder that's going to fill that case up better, and you're going to get a better ignition of the powder, and your pressure is going to spike at the right time to push that bullet out of there more evenly.
You'll like Power Pistol. Power Pistol's good.
Power Pistol's my favorite for 45 ACP.
Yeah, I definitely can acquire that locally too, so I'll have to pick some of that up.
It's an Alliant thing. But don't get rid of your tight group for your 9 millimeters, because you really like it in 9 millimeters.
Yeah, I've gotten a couple loads built up for a couple of different guns that just it's dialed in tight for the nines. And I just sort of started the process with the 10 millimeters. And yeah, ejecting, that's like the biggest damn problem with this pistol.
You need to get you need to make yourself a little brass catcher to stick on the side of that bad boy.
I'm gonna have to either that or a big giant net.
Well, I was gonna say what you might want to do is buy the Caldwell net. They actually make one that you set up, and you can set it where you want to set it, and it'll catch all your brass.
Oh, I had no idea they actually did.
Yep, they do, and it goes on a regular tripod.
It's about $40 to $45, but that
it kind of looks like one of those air socks. Kind of elongates out like an air sock.
But when you're talking about 10 millimeter brass, what is $45? Is that 200 rounds of brass?
Right. I mean, it's costly brass.
Yeah, you might want to look into that. That'd be a good option for you. You just got to figure out the ejection pattern as to where you're going to put it. But once you get that figured out, it'll catch most of your brass.
Well, and that won't be a problem because it about throws it all into one spot. As long as I don't move, it about throws it into one spot. But finding that spot, if I'm too far back in my little pistol area, is kind of tough.
Yeah,
it'll throw it into the pond behind me if I'm further out.
Hang a tarp beside you. That way, the brass hits the tarp and goes straight down.
That's an option as well.
Or do what I do and just have Scotsman with the catcher's mitt, and he runs around catching it for me.
I can see that happening.
That's probably a little bit too much of a trip for him to make. Although if I told Chico that he could keep 1 out of 3, I'm pretty sure he'd be down for it. Yeah, I still haven't even dived into rifle rounds. Oh, yeah. All right. I still haven't dived into rifle rounds. I kind of slowed down on even the 9s for a little while, and just started getting back into. I was just like, I got to start getting loading into these 10 millimeters. I just have to.
That's expensive stuff to buy, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah. Basically, the rule of thumb in my area is the price of 9mm round for 50, just double it for the 10. That's a general rule.
Yeah, I can see that. ZPD Survival says his Mini 14 spits him forward about 12 feet. I've got a Mini 14. I can't remember my ejection pattern. I'm not shooting that thing near as much as I need to. That one might be trade bait, as much as I hate to say it. But since I got ARs and stuff, I don't shoot that Mini 14 near as much as I should. But talking about why we reload, I was at a gun store yesterday and went down the aisle and found some 35 Remington. Somebody actually had some 35 Remington. So when you find it, you got to think about buying it because it's kind of rare to find it, except for during hunting season. After hunting season's over, you won't find any. But this was $30 a box, and it was Remington Core Lock. And I picked up a box of that, and I showed it to my buddy Chico, who was with me, and I said, "That, sir, is why I reload." Because I killed deer this year with a cast loaded bullet, cast lead hand loaded bullet. So I probably got 10 cents, 12 cents in that round, and they're wanting $1.25 a piece for them. No, I don't think so.
That's it.
And if y'all have seen my videos on that series, I'm not near through with it, but I've got that load is dialed in to shoot one whole groups at 50 yards. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think probably around about the same for the 44 mag. Usually they'll run you about 35 a box. I'm probably right in the same realm as you, right around that 18 cents or so.
Yeah, but that's 44 mag. That's a box of 50. I'm talking about a box of 20 rifle rounds.
Yeah, gotta love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Meltzer Mike says that his lack is for reloading is because of time. Honestly, it can be time consuming, but if you got the time to be a shooter, you got the time to go to the range, you got the time to practice, then you sure better damn have the time to learn how to reload and make you a better shooter by doing it.
You will shoot more and become a better shooter.
Yeah, hence the reason why I'm doing it. I love the round and I love shooting the thing. And so I just was just like, yeah, I've got to start reloading this thing so that I can shoot it more. Because yeah, it's expensive to buy off the shelf, and I will be able to build up a round that the pistol really likes. And contour it to what my wants are. Just as practice rounds, because you don't carry your reloads. Yeah.
And he's got 3 little terrorists that bug him all the time. Well, you got to get them involved too.
Oh, those are perfect to pick up the brass at the range, man.
Yeah, they're perfect to pick up the brass, just like Chico does with with Carter. He has them deep prime, and he loves deep priming the brass. Get them involved. Little things.
And teach them. Pass on this arcane art.
That's it. Before it disappears.
Yeah. Jesse, how long till we start reloading for shotgun? I mean, the guy that owns the land that I hunt on, we do a skeet shoot every year for our men's ministry, and now his son has started shooting competition shotgun. So I figure it's just a matter of time till I'm reloading all his shotgun rounds, and he'll go through 100 in a weekend, no problem. So.
Yeah, I'm good on shotgun ammo right now. I couldn't tell you how many rounds I have, so I ain't gonna need to reload that for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, Armament Nax has got a good point. Go buy a box of Factory 338 Lapua and you'll learn to reload.
Oh, yeah. You'll learn quick, too.
Especially if it's good long-range target ammo with Sierra Match Kings loaded in it.
Yep, or 50 BMG, because you got to buy just a separate press for the 50 BMG.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should just make that a bundle pack. Buy a Barrett, receive a free press.
Yeah, because at $8,500 to $12,000, I think they can afford to throw you a Lee press in there.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's for sure.
They make Barretts not far from where I live. They're just across the Georgia line in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
They're about, I would say, hour and a half, 2 hours from me.
Yeah, I was gonna say about 2 hours. Yep. Thinking about putting a huge trade package together to get a Barrett. That's probably one way to do it. All right, we're at about that time, so we'll start going through the room. Daniel.
Well, I heard my name. I got a lot of going. I got a lot of stuff heading on right now. Thanks for the invite again, guys, and the folks in the side chat. You've been great. And I'll see you later.
All right. Jamie.
Guys, thanks for having me, putting up with me. I know my voice is rough. I'm not feeling real great, but thanks for everybody in the side chat. We had 50 at one point, I think, maybe a few more. So thanks for coming out, guys. You're the reason we do what we do. I'm just released a 30-30 video, and I got a 358 Eagle, which is a modified 350 Legend coming up. I'm fixing to do a video on that. I got some range footage and stuff like that. I wished I could remember the name of that thing. Bacon started over on the Reloaders Network, but check out the Reloaders Network. Check us out on my channel, the Georgia Shooting Connection, on Friday nights, and always come back here on Sunday for some more good times. Thanks for having me, Scotsman. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, Alan.
Yep, good to see you, man. I hope you feel better soon. I appreciate you showing up, even when you're not feeling the greatest.
Well, thanks for having me.
Alan, what you got, brother?
Oh man, I think it's been a great evening. We had a great cast of hooligans here in the room with us tonight, and just an absolutely phenomenal side chat with all the ridiculousness and everything going on out there. Great to see everybody except for Stalker Steve. Go away, Stalker Steve. No, anyway, much love to you, Steve. But I just had a great evening tonight. Thank everybody for coming. And as always, keep the magazines loaded and one in the chamber.
And before we go, I think we should vote. I think we vote for Daniel this time.
I would second the motion, sir.
All right, and I'm pretty sure Jamie will third the motion because he ain't doing it. That's for sure. All right. With that being said, guys, appreciate y'all showing up. Y'all have a great rest of the weekend. And to our wonderful YouTube viewer who's still watching, making sure we don't show guns, go fuck yourself. All right. With that being said, we'll see you next week, guys. Later.
Good night, guys.